Welcome to our first 10k month. So it's day 142 of being a full-time entrepreneur. Quit my senior Azure cloud consultant day job 142 days ago to go all in, and I'm gonna break it all down today how we've got our first 10k month. So 10k month this year below. I'm trying to figure out how to come back in, because just a kind of brief thing about doing this kind of stuff, YouTube entrepreneurship, is often you'll like expand how much you're doing or the things that you're interested in, and then you have to contract and then expand and contract. But each time it should be like going towards a singular kind of goal over time. So don't worry if you're in kind of this stage or whatever. It evens out. Trust me. Because although we've been doing this for 142 days, I was actually running my YouTube channel for, I don't know, like 550 days before that. So add that up, you're probably looking at like upwards of about 700 total days of doing this to get it to work. So anyway, 10k month, let's try and break it down. So we closed 10k in sales and we got paid just over 7k in cash. Now for our American audience in the UK, this is like £7,700, and this is 5.2, something like that. 1,000, and for context, 5.2k becomes roughly a 60k salary, which for where I am, north of England, that's a really, really decent salary. So, just because I know in America salaries start at like 100k, over here they start at like 24. So, bit of context. Anyway, back to it. So how do we get our 10k? What lessons can we learn from May of 2026? Well, a couple of things. Number one, treat whatever you get money like your new 9 to 5. Where you're making money is your job. So my example is YouTube sponsored videos make me money, right? It makes me basically all of my money. School makes me a little bit of money, probably 7% of my revenue. So if we add all this up, that's like YouTube, all the money, school, a bit of the money, Scripty does make me like, $10 a month, but or actually no, I'm losing money because it costs more to run it. So basically nothing, right? And then, other stuff is again nothing. So what I kind of noticed and figured out was, right, we have kind of two things to do. Number one is where you're making money, lean into that. That's how we increased our money before, was whatever it was making us money, we just done more of that. And lo and behold, that works. So if you're like me, and this is a weird one for people, well, if you're like me and you want to break out of the 9 to 5 grind being controlled by someone else, and you want to actually make money for yourself, I know it's a stupid idea, but maybe stop doing whatever you want and just start doing whatever it is that has made you money so far. I know, mind blower. So, trust me, this is where I was getting this from. I'm that guy. I know that this is what makes me money, and I keep coming back to it, but then I go all the way out here and waste a bunch of time, and all the way out here and waste a bunch of time. Although I never count it as wasted time, because then you can bring it back into here. So that's number one. Number two is that our YouTube channel, we were worried about like AI slop and all this stuff, so we've narrowed it down to basically just YouTube videos, but we're leaning again more tech, more building, which I thought was gonna destroy the channel, but actually has brought us more money. So more money by leaning into tech. So number one, lean into that. Number two, lean into a profitable niche. That's probably the kind of key takeaway here. And also kind of trust your gut, because I wanted to go into tech and build and stuff again, but I felt that maybe the audience wouldn't want it. But then you realise it's all about personal value, the value you can provide. So another one, a third one, this kind of like I don't really know how you could replicate it. Well, I guess I do know how you could, but one of our partners, so we made a video with Alibaba Cloud, and we've made videos with 11 Labs, and then Apify, some others as well, Data Camp, So we're collaborating now with bigger brands, and bigger brands equals bigger checks, bigger prices, bigger salaries, so makes more money. And this year, interestingly as well, it kind of like doubles as like a contract thing where you then spend, or you'll get like 2 videos, say, instead of 1, or 3 videos instead of 1, or whatever. And so instead of, whatever the range is for you, say you make $200 a video, 400, 500, whatever it is. For context as well, channel like mine, 84,000 subscribers, I don't know, 4,000 views a video, something like that. Changes all the time, but that's a good reference. That a video could range from like $400 to $800, something like that. Because this idea where people are like, oh, I'm just going to become an influencer and every video is going to be like 10 grand, doesn't work. It only works for people that you know that are YouTubers, not even personally know, but just that are YouTubers that you know of, because the people you know of are the 1 in a billion. Your Mr. Beasts or whatever. Outdoor Boys, I hear, is another one people talk about. But anyway, so they'll do multi-video contracting deals. And so what that means is, you could say normally you'd be trying to close a bunch of like $500 deals, whereas instead now you're closing $1,000 deals. And when you close $1,000 deals, you're going to get it all paid, or most of it paid, or closed at least. And when you get it closed, then you add it into your closed. So it's a bit of a weird one with when people talk about how much they've made. I've always been transparent on this channel that there's a difference between closed and there's a difference between paid. So for example here it's like 10k a month. First 10k a month, it's like, yeah, you get 5 grand, and in the UK you need to pay about 1/3 of that in tax. So then suddenly you're actually only down at like, I don't know what this would be, just off the top of my head, like something like that, which is substantially smaller. In American dollars, it's still like 5 grand, so it's still like almost half, or 6 grand. I don't know. Maybe I've done dodgy maths there. So, first of all, lean into what makes you money. Number 2, lean into what makes you money again, really. Tech, building. Number 3, try and work with big brands. Try and get multi-video deals, even if it increases a little bit. A little practical piece of information, if you're going to like a 3.5. If you're a smaller YouTuber, is try to package stuff up. So if you have like a YouTube channel and you have a LinkedIn and X and a newsletter and a school community, whatever it is, all of this stuff, you could like just try and stretch it out. If you get a tiny little channel and you're doing like 2k here, at 2k, $200 for the video, you could add all of this on and get like $250. And sure, this is extra work, but it's extra work you weren't going to have anyway, so you're as well making an extra $50. I used to do this at the beginning to get a little bit more money. And if you get like 10 clients a month, that's an extra 500, which is like an extra 2.5 videos or whatever, so think about it like that. Number 4, so when you make videos for clients, sometimes these clients will run ads to your video. So they'll run like Google Ads. Again, that's another one I don't know. You could replicate it. I know how, but Anyway, running ads here. You can run ads to your videos. So you make a sponsored video for someone, whatever it is, and they're going to then run from Google Ads to your video. And what that does is it increases the traffic of your video. It will increase the traffic, and that traffic will also increase your subs. And you can't control this. No matter if you've agreed to allow them usage rights, and the thing is, I always allow usage rights to all my videos basically. If they ask, then I'll give them maybe, like I'll quote a little bit higher, but it never really works. Like it's weird on YouTube, at least in AI. There's not really any negotiating. You kind of get a price and that's it, if you're not massive. So let me just tell you that first. But here, you can't control this. And you also can't control then the demographics. So I've been lucky this past month where any ads that have been run, they seemingly have been run to kind of like UK, USA, that type of audience, which is good. So it's good for the channel. But sometimes they can run ads to like India, Indonesia, that kind of thing. So just be wary of that, because then it can skew your demographics. And then when clients come and they go, oh, let me see the back end of your channels, or your channel. Where are people coming from? What age are they, etc. You don't want it to be, suddenly a couple of dodgy sponsors and now they've been running ads to Indonesia or India and now your rates are going to plummet. Just a bit of context. But yeah, so they can do this, running ads. And sometimes when you run ads, these kind of guys, like Westerners really, I suppose, they are more likely to be like return viewers. And these return viewers then create some AdSense. And then it also increases your subs and your views, which then increases your rates. And now you can, for full context, you can do this on your own. Like you could just run ads to your videos to get views and subscribers. The only problem with it is that if you're going to try and target these demographics, the cost per acquisition per subscriber may be larger than your budget allows. So like for example, something, and I'm just kind of making numbers up, but you'll get the gist here. It's roughly like India is, if the India is 1, and then you have say UK USA is like 10 times the price. And so what happens then is if you want say 1,000 views, which will translate to, I don't know, maybe like somewhere between 50 to 100 subscribers. Let's just say 50 subs, 100 views for an Indian market. You can maybe get that honestly with maybe like $10 or less. But if you then want to get that same thing on the UK US market, you're going to then have to pay $100. And so the problem then becomes, if you want to have good demographics and try and create a real audience, this will happen. But for context as well, like some of my videos, you get this Indian, Indonesian, basically a low CPM demographic, sometimes just by happenstance, because you've made some videos. Tech tutorials, stuff like that, certifications, free. If you have like free in the title, that's normally searched by non-Western countries, is what I have found. But they still buy stuff sometimes, but just nowhere near as much. So anyway, just you can do this kind of thing yourself, like YouTube promotions, Google AdWords, I don't know, whatever it's called. And doing this, it can change the demographics, but it can be super costly, is basically the point I'm meaning. You're probably, especially if you're not a massive YouTuber, with funding behind you, this is an investment. You're as well not doing it, because you're as well just investing that time and energy into making more videos. Like the best time for me at the beginning, for like a tiny little channel, was just making a video every day. If it flopped, it flopped. Who cared? Next video. And it's kind of annoying for sponsors, because then your sponsor rates go like this, up and down, up and down. But, these things happen. It's just the way it is. So, yeah. So let me see then. Is there maybe a fifth one I could talk about here? Or we could just move on to talk about our future plans. So how do we make so much money? We leaned into making YouTube videos for money. We leaned into tech and building videos, because then it felt more authentic to me, which was good, but it also makes more money. We got big brands, big sponsors, and multi-contract deals, which leads into then this is guaranteed money for next month, which is good. And then some different sponsors have run ads to the videos, which has increased subscribers and views, and stuff, which is cool. And practical advice is probably don't do this. You'll have a fast growth, especially at the beginning, but then that'll be you. If you want to do anything like this, wait until you have a baseline and or get investment. Because like you'll hear about it like Clavicular. Clavicular is backed, it seems. I've heard, I don't know what to say, allegedly backed by Peter Thiel and or like kind of that Palantir side of things. And basically they're then paying for him to be promoted. So this kind of thing happens all over the internet, all the time, just for context for you. So anyway, especially for massive channels, it's like, how did they become massive? So if you watch a video and you go, how's this guy massive? Probably somebody's pushing him, especially politics, or degeneracy, to be fair. Anyway, so on that happy, cheery note, what's next? So this month, it's June. June 2026. So this is our 6th month as an entrepreneur, full-time entrepreneur, which is pretty cool. That even looks French. So what we're going to do, again, we're going to lean into tech, we're going to lean into building, this kind of stuff. But I wanted to talk briefly about this. I'm trying to figure out how to segment now my time and my ideas. So I do have a feeling that I need to go all in. I need to go all in on something. So the video here, we're getting sponsored videos. So our videos here, we're getting sponsored videos on this side. And so we're considering toying with the idea of like paid videos only. And just leaning into that just as a business model. We'll build stuff with cool stuff and just see what happens. And then if we're going to do that though, we really need to have a second channel so that I can have like that creative outlet. Or we need to figure out how to blend like this creative outlet channel with the essentially the cash cow channel of like our portfolio of businesses or ideas, because we also have two other things which are school and Scripty. And so Scripty is our AI YouTube or pre-production. Scripty is like our pre-production tool for YouTube. It allows you to get ideas and then get scripts. You can just guide it saying, I want this angle, I want that angle, or you can just let it, one-shot it for you. And it writes them in your voice. So this technology here is like a tool that we have, and we'll try to figure out how to really market it properly. And as we build it out and learn, we want to then make videos, hence why I want to make like a little channel, or have at least the idea to. And then everything we'll learn in here, and in this other one I guess, we want to then pull it into school, because I would like to help people, I'd like to talk to people, I'd like to talk and help more people if I can. I like it, I like to teach, I like to do stuff. But then Scripty needs to be marketed, and probably the best way to market Scripty is to use another YouTube channel. So then we end up in this position where we could possibly have 3 channels, 1 school and 1 SaaS. That might 4 channels if you include this one. And then I have my faceless music channel and a bunch of other websites that I'm doing. But anyway, for this here, if we lean into this, we'll try to like see if we can consider maybe like only in the morning we lean into this here. We do the emailing, writing the scripts, shooting the videos, etc. Make our money. This is our 9 to 5 basically. And then in the second half, we then do our 5 to 9. So this is the other ventures that we're trying to get off the ground properly. That's school, that's Scripty or SaaS, that's then the marketing that comes under that SaaS. And then we have our second channel, which is geared more towards bringing people into school. So these are like little raw lessons, because especially as your channel gets bigger, you then start getting this thing where you're like, oh my gosh, this video, maybe I shouldn't put it on the main channel because it's going to tank my views, or it's going to affect the algorithm too much, kind of thing. It just doesn't reflect the channel of that size. So that's why I've been playing with the idea of making a second channel. I actually already have, I have like 4 second channels where I've posted like 1 or 2 videos on each. But yeah, we're trying to narrow it down, because in one of these videos, some guy commented and was like, you just need to go all in. Pick something and go all in. Something to that effect. And it keeps resonating with me, where I'm like, that is the thing. AI gives you the ability to do loads at once, but you can't do loads of things and be excellent at once. You have to pick one, go all in on that. So that's why we were thinking our biggest possibility for scaling and for making money and for having like a real proper thing is probably Scripty, and then downstream our other like channel that's like a founder builder channel in my school. And then this channel becomes, like the main channel, becomes then basically like, I don't know how to, paid videos only, but I mean it more like I'm still going to be conscious of what we're creating, because we only want to create, things that we do like and things that are valuable. So I'm not going to take any sponsor willy-nilly, but it just means that I don't want to affect. Yeah, basically, I just don't. The main channel is the kind of channel where it's like, I don't know, how to become an AI engineer or something. How to build your second brain. Whereas the startup / founder vids, these are more like, here's a quick little tip that I want to show you. It's more that kind of thing. But leaning into the paid videos only one, that's more I'm just thinking we need to create things that are synergistic with the brands that we're pushing. I guess is more the kind of thing there. But they all come under the AI builder personal brand. They're just segregated by, business function, I guess. Or business. I don't know. Anyway, so. Anyway, so that's us right now. Our goal now, I think, really is. I'm just going to do it massive so we can see properly. Scripty. I think we really need to lean into that. I'm a bit I don't know if I should. But, if I was to imagine myself in 10 years, what would I be happy with? Would I be happy with just building stuff on a main channel as a YouTuber? Probably not really. I'm not that kind of guy, I don't think. Would I be happy with a school community teaching people how to build stuff? Maybe. Would I be happy being like a SaaS foundery type in that space? I think maybe more. So anyway, I don't know. We'll see where things go. I've seemingly frozen. I'm not speaking like that. Oh, camera's gone. Oh, my phone will be dead. That'll be why. Let me use my profile picture, which I think is actually just, there you go, LB. I'll make myself tiny. So anyway, Scripty, I think we really need to go all in on that. YouTube channel, the main one, this is basically how we're going to fund everything and keep building stuff, because I do get excited to build stuff. And we can put it on there, but try to build your own thing 7 days a week. I don't know, I think it gets kind of, what's the phraseology? It gets something fast. My brain's just completely disappeared. I need some coffee. It gets old fast. That's what I was. I just need a sip of coffee. It gets old fast building stuff 24/7. So then we have our founder channel. This is a kind of maybe. And then we have school, and school's kind of downstream from everything as a way to kind of package that up and give it to people. And on school, actually, I wanted to run ads, because this low ticket ads, I've wanted to run low ticket grow with Evelyn ads, which says like $7 to $9 communities, and you can scale these, to thousands of dollars, run in meta ads. And I'm seeing that meta ads are getting better and more people are doing them from what I can see. And I've been wanting to do these for like 6 weeks or more. So I guess I need to just go all in on that one too. So it does make sense, I think, fundamentally as a business model where you're building one thing, you're then learning about AI with another thing. You then have, your personal outlet channel. It's almost like Twitter as a YouTube channel. And then you have your school where you're teaching people how to do the things that you're doing. So yeah, I think it makes sense to me. That's the focus going forward. But again, focus on money. That's the main thing. Without selling yourself out. Of course. I think that's a obvious underpinning of this whole thing. Anyway, I'm going to go. I'll see you later. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh no, my pen.